Hi, this is me. I Get Real. And I sometimes, I have this problem, and I should probably, give my sticky notes to my kids. So sometimes, I'll be like, oh my god, I'll make this video. It's going to be 5 minutes. Then I'll be like, an hour and 15 minutes. Then I'll be like, oh, I'll just recap it. And then it's like 39 minutes. And then next thing I know, it's 59 minutes. Like, oh, that recap is not much of it. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to do 5 to 7 minutes. So I will sometimes take a sticky note, like one of these, or bigger, and I'll be like, let me say, the date, because I'll forget. I'll just what is this? And I'll say like 3 topics I talked about, and then when I upload it, I can at least kind of, instead of just saying random video, I have a lot of random videos. I don't know if they're still posted. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So I have this video, and since they're so long, I talk about different things. So today, I can't remember. I do like too much in a day, and I'm really tired. And me and my daughter don't feel well, so we had to go. Actually, she's in school, and she needed to get a bunch of supplies yesterday and today, and she's gonna have to get a bunch of more. And we're like, oh my god! And I was driving weird. I was like, oh, we're driving really early. I was like, no, I'm not gonna rush her. And then I got on this, okay, I'm gonna do some eBay stuff. So as of today, tomorrow, and tomorrow's 28th, right? 28th, 29th, 30th. I can list probably at least 100, if not 150 items on eBay, plus they got 100 for 5 cents after that. I tried to do because I thought you got like 150 fixed, 50 auction or something, or I don't know what it is. And I tried to do an auction the other day, and it was literally charging me 30 cents, and I was really confused, so I just I wanted to, sell this stupid item, just 99 cents plus postage, and some of these could really use better pictures so people know exactly what it is. But yeah, and some of them are super dark. Even sometimes it's too bright and the camera automatically darkens it. So I really need I wanted to get an iPod Mini for my business. I can't even check my schedule when I'm not at home, and I literally, because I have online scheduling, I have missed appointments. Now, it wasn't because I didn't check. I don't actually check. It was because I had inspections those weeks, and one of the times, I don't know. There's a couple issues I had because I have more than one job. I'm not in my office, and I'm not able to access it. I only have one computer I can use, and because I go to my office on and off, I don't check. I don't have a computer in there. I wish, I thought I could even, buy some, simple netbook or simple tablet and lock it in my file cabinet and have, any time that I can go, I can access my emails, access my EHR, and not even, because I would be a nightmare to get 8 gigabytes, but thinking that I could start with a small memory, 8, 16, 32 is probably, 32 is too little. I need 100 and something memory, but I feel like I could get the minimum for electronic health records so I can pull it up, make prescriptions, and be able to access, since I don't have a computer small enough to take with me, and because even when I did house calls with the midwife, she had a Mac Air, and it can fit in your purse. It's like a laptop with a keyboard small to fit in your purse. Another person I was working under and/or shadowing and/or colleagues with, they had gotten an iPad Mini a long time ago, and then when they went to this clinic, oh my god, I was just kind of buying this as a little toy. I never thought that I'd be able to be charting in my office as a acupuncturist, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And that was 2015? Yeah, the beginning of 2015. And ever since I was like, oh my god, I do electronic health records. You can sit, and even if you don't get the So I don't know if you can get the phone one and be like, oh, I changed my mind, I can't afford the phone, and still use it. Or if you're kind of like, oh my god, I gotta sell it and get a different model. Because I know people, my kids' classmates would use Wi-Fi or hotspot on their phones, and then they would say, wow, their battery, and besides your memory or your data being used up, your memory or your battery is going to die faster. But I would rather actually have my own internet connection because I really want to be able to check my schedule. I've missed several, and I probably missed some phone calls. And I have like pharmacies calling me, and because I work as a vendor, I could, like a doctor in a hospital, I can keep my bag on me at all times. Um, Take it to the bathroom, take it on my lunch break, don't leave it in anywhere. I do have a locked place, but we have a shared key. And even if you have, even if you have a locker, which I don't have, someone could easily hack that locker off with the clip thing. This has got to be gorilla. Yeah, this is like super tough. Let me just tell you. I think we had some stuff done with, oh god, I don't even know. I hope this doesn't mess up my scissors. I think we had some stuff done with this type of tape. What was it? I feel like it's something that's like still works. So I kind of want to like smooth out. This is like the worst freaking chair. So this is, okay, so this is a break. I'm getting ready to take a nap. This is a seat cushion because our chairs are moldy and kids sit in them and it's bad enough. Like, I could turn the outfit I have on, which is pretty raggedy. I'm not even going to try to sell this. These are my favorite leggings. These are like, a few years ago, these are the Vera Wang. I got these 3 or 4 more pairs. I think I got 4 more pairs for me and my daughter. Not even anything the same. You'll see my shirt. I'll talk about that. This is really good stretch at the ankle, and it's not so loose that it, you wear these pajamas. I have these pajamas that have ties down here, like above my ankle, and it creaks up while I'm sleeping because my circulation is really annoying. I don't even want to give those away. Maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking 2007 in my mind. I had a job full-time sometimes and part-time when I was in school, and I had financial aid, and I still couldn't afford to go to Fred Meyer, which is kind of like a local style. It's like a Kroger store, but it's kind of could be like a Walmart in a way that has a bunch of food, and all the household items. Some of them don't really have a lot of clothes or they like, I don't know, they change them around. They're remodeling a lot of the stores now, like every one of the stores. Making even bigger or smaller, or just straight up changing everything. They have the Black Friday stock sale, and my friend who is also a single mom and having all these jobs, working 7 days a week, she would work on holidays like I do. I hate this. I think in my mind of all the people that need to take, like, you're not even taking a day off. You're still making food for your kids, and you're a single mom. So for me, she had a little bit of family members, and sometimes her sister would do the holiday. But it's like, at the same time, like for me, I don't have that. And I'm grateful that her and her sister sometimes will let me come over. But it's like, of all the people that you run. Like, you can't say it. Like, right now, I was sick. We were on the curb. I was, like, driving. Like, I'm ready to go home. Like, I was, like, I can't say, hey, can a relative, friend, aunt, uncle, kid's dad take my kid to get school supplies? Like, especially if she's sick, and I'm not even going to put her on a 2-hour bus like that. Like, she needs to, like, be in bed. Like, she needs, and so it's when you give, whether it's your kids or you give someone else a ride, when you don't need to go. It's not like, hey, I'm going to such and such store. Hey, I'm going to Safeway. You want to come with me? It's like, it's different when it's your kids because it's like your kids. But I used to give people rides more. I do it more now. And like, dude, you don't realize when you ride the bus, it's taking you like 30 minutes to get home. But when I give you a ride, it's taking me an hour to get home. It's like It's like, it's not really good for me, but I understand there's times that I had my car break down, and a couple of times, like one time I got a ride. One time. I remember really well. So these, even though I was working, I couldn't even afford socks, which were probably like $4, $3. Back in the olden days, they were probably like $2, $3, $4. So my friend would say, that's the only thing I can afford. I have boys. I have athletic boys. And she worked every day, and she was older than me. And one of her sons was my kids' age, like right in the middle. My kids are 18 months apart, so her little boy was like right in the middle of mine. And it was like, I always hoped I could be like her and get those socks. Like just a pack. Like I've done this before. You get one pack of socks and you Sharpie their initials on the bottom. It's hard to do that now because everyone has different size feet, but like people, like the kids would have similar size feet, or I would just get like a man's large, and then we'd all have to wear like these excessively large socks, and I couldn't do well with the ones that, I don't know why ankles, does this bother anyone else having your ankles like squeezed to oblivion, and you're just like, does anyone else notice, like, yeah, my socks don't fall down, but I also am like, I can't, like, wear socks. I have these ones I got that they're, like, elastic free. I didn't know they were diabetic socks, and so there's, like, no elastic, and they said small, medium, large. I'm like, I don't have small feet, and oh my god, they were so big. But I've worn them because I have been throwing all the old stuff away, and I haven't been, replacing them. I had some in my cart on Amazon a couple years ago, but they were Ralph Lauren. I threw one of those pairs away, by the way, that I got used in 2004. And okay, this is my seat cover because this is a ad with some contact paper that I found in the closet. I had yellow before, and I left it out during a snowstorm last year. It was early. It was unexpected. I had plants out, and I had, how do I do this? What did I have out? I had plants out, and I had, like, other stuff out. Oh, the seat cushions. I meant to bring them in, and they got, I think it was a snowstorm. It was some kind of storm where where the chairs on the porch got drenched, and because our schedule is crazy, I didn't realize it. Like, you would think if you're home, or you come home after work, oh my god, stuff's getting wet, you tip it upside down, or you take it in and dry it off if you can. But by the time I noticed, it was all, I think we had rain and snow, and so I couldn't see it under snow. Everything had molded. So I had 3 of these, because girls would sit on our porch, and basically, the yellow one, I would stuff full of newspaper ads, and I would, I made the first one. We didn't have to use duct tape in the olden days. In Girl Scouts, we would take contact paper, and we would shove a bunch of newspaper in there, like a lot more than that, and we would make our pads. So when we went camping, I never heard of like taking chairs camping like this. Like, people in Oregon are like, dude, we are outdoorsy, we are this. Like, if you were in Michigan, like for me in the 80s and 90s, mostly the 80s, it was like northern Michigan, not the UP, but northern Michigan on the Huron side. If you're like, okay, your Girl Scout troop is going camping, it's like, we didn't go buy anything. Like, you didn't say, oh my god, like, my kids had like a packet. I probably didn't get rid of all of them. And they're like, you need to, buy all this stuff. Like, we don't have all this stuff. And sometimes people would get rid of it they'd have like a yard sale or auction, or I'd be like, oh my god, I can't get them shoes in this minus 40 degree sleeping bag and all this stuff. So when I had that job in that financial aid, I would have to go get stuff like that, because it's like, you don't have it, you don't go, and you don't want your kid to miss their yearly field trip, which is a week long. And that kind of stuff, having 2 kids, you're like, for a couple of years you have one. it 2 years? No, it's only one. I think there's 1 year. There's 1 year in between. I don't know how it worked out. You end up getting 2 of everything, but the first time you get 1 of everything, and then if the kids go on different weeks, they can share. So they can't share like all the clothes and the shoes though. But we spent some time at the thrift stores, and literally because of the high price of the Goodwill and even the Salvation Army. And oh my God, we need this by Monday, and today is Sunday. You're like, I literally, and I think people think I'm cheesy when I talk about my faith. I would sit in the parking lot, or I would do it in the morning before church, because that was usually the day we'd go on Sunday. I'd be like, dear God, please help us find what we need to find. Please help us to be able to afford it. And then I'd get on my, I guess I could use my cell phone when I guess somehow I would look at my bank account and be like, oh my God, I got $23. Like, I cannot spend any more. And now, like, I didn't have a lot of quarters. I had quarters for doing laundry. But I would be like, I didn't really have a lot of dollar bills back then. But you're like, oh my God, you can't go over this price. So even if you find the perfect thing, brand new with tags, name brand, and it's like $25, you can't get it. Like you just can't do it unless you pay with 2 cards. And that at that time I wasn't using a credit card like I am now. It wasn't until I got into medical school, like when I got into medical school in 2009, was really the first time that I ever used. So basically, I said I don't want a credit card, and they sent me a credit card for overdraft protection. I said, oh, I want to sign up for overdraft. So they automatically sent this card. So when I was at Portland State, you would get your money like 3 weeks in advance. So I would be like, oh my gosh, if it's summer or whatever holiday, I would try to get to the bookstore. There was one that they don't advertise that's off campus or near off campus. You might be able to find a used edition, but you really have to try to see if the syllabus gets put up, or you could always say, I'm going to buy this. Because usually there would be like 1 or 2 use, like literally no use on campus. Like, I think they were like really against. They really wanted you to buy brand new with plastic on it, because that's like a really lot of money. And even though used, you're buying and selling the same book over and over again. Like you buy it from me from $2 and you sell it again for 100. Like it's not. It's like you're actually seem like you're making more money, but that's a different story. How do I know? How do I know they're not getting the new one for $4? Like just throwing out numbers. So you would have time to negotiate at least a couple days. You don't want to keep driving downtown paying for parking. But you would have time and money if you need pens, if you need a bag, which I never really bought a backpack. I had a free bag once. It was pink. I miss, oh my God, East Pack. I've had a couple East Packs in my life, and I swear to you, I'm like, that was one of the bags I missed. Like, that was probably, I don't know, my really old one from the 90s. It was just the right depth and all that. I miss that bag so much. I think they outlawed them. I don't think they outlawed them. I just don't think they sell them really here. I looked and I've got to a place where you can buy them, but they're too expensive for me. So I could get the money, and then when I went to medical school, you have to show up. So if you can do it the first day of school, which was a Monday. For us, the last 2 years was 7:30 in the morning. So whatever you have Monday morning, everybody has classes on Monday morning. It was get there and get in line and wait in line for as long as you can stand, as long as you have to, and you'd get a bus pass if you wanted one. I paid for a parking pass, but I had a bus pass anyway, because sometimes it was free. I mean, it seems kind of cheesy, but I would ride the bus sometimes. But when you're rushing to get your kids from daycare after school, you can't, like, I would love to ride the bus, save gas, not pay for parking passes. But when you're like, oh my God, please, like, because they'll charge you a lot of money if you're late picking your kid, and if you don't pick up your kid, eventually they would call child welfare on you. Like I said before, we don't have a lot of help, so there wasn't a lot of people that I made myself put people on there that I'm like, they would be like, who? whose kids, like who the heck you're talking about, but literally as a single mom, feeling like an island. If I got in a car accident or my car got stolen before, like you have to kind of sign paper to say this person's allowed to pick up my kid. Like there was no way I could get there, and they would have had to call child welfare. So you were already giving, and my phone wasn't working, so I was already giving permission. So I like throw like a couple of names on there, because if anything, one of those people potentially could say authorize somebody closer to pick the kids. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kind of take over. Because I get scared. Like, what if I go out to Fred Meyer tonight and I run a red light because I'm tired? Like, if say it's my fault, I hope that doesn't happen, and I just get plowed by a semi truck and die, or get in a coma, and I'm so tired because I'm like half asleep. I get up and don't have my purse, and like they could figure out by the owner of the car they're not sure that's me. Like, it's a scary thought. Like, me and my kid walking. Like, there's so many things. And you just, like, hope to God it doesn't happen that year. But inevitably, humans and animals and pets and trees eventually all die. And it's, like, so sad. Like, pigs, everything. It's like, oh my God. It's like, I've always used to watch Sesame Street, and I always wanted community. I've always wanted somebody in the neighborhood to talk to, someone to talk to on the phone, someone to, that, so annoying. I see my daughter at work, she has that door with a hole in it, and you're just like, waiter, there's a fly in my seat. I always get frustrated, going back and forth. So, this is my way to keep, okay, so we can't even have chairs outside, even though the people over there do, and we are, I don't have any chair cushions. I can't even afford cheap plastic chairs. And I've seen some on the side of the road, but they would definitely have to be bleached. I've seen some on the side of the road, and I got written up for having chairs, outdoor chairs on my porch, which were camping chairs. They still look tacky. And the thing was, my kids were sitting outside. My kids were sitting outside waiting for the ride, waiting for the bus. We've had a place where we also got in trouble for having an outdoor chair outside. Last place I lived, and I had a handicap. She wasn't handicapped, but she had frequently had surgeries for body parts for her extremities. And so she would meet me, her and her husband would meet me with my son at home, and sometimes I was running late. So they would sit on my porch in a chair. And I had to get rid of my chairs. So then they basically had to stand, I mean, they could sit in their car, but they kind of liked the idea because there was like a kind of park-like field across the street with a bunch of flowers. And they were able to relax, get some fresh air, wait for me to come home. And then it's like you have people or elderly people like this person over here. She walks here. This guy down here, he walks, he limps, he doesn't drive. People are on the bus. Old people are on the bus coming into people's houses, and they're sitting on the ground, and there's chiggers and spiders and rats and squirrels, and you're just like, you talk about people not being civilized, can we at least have an outdoor chair outside? So they basically outlawed it. I took my outdoor wreath, decoration down, everything, and I'm just like I keep meeting the maintenance guy, and he's always fixing something that I needed fixing. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I've put in a maintenance request for that many times, and no one ever fixed it. In this house over there, they were fixing something. I was like, seriously, like, I seriously like duct tape my house together, as you saw me do already. So it's really sad when it's winter time and you can't even go to Walmart and pay $7.96 for one plastic chair. And now that they're going to outlaw it, it's like we brought all of our outdoor crap in the house, and our house is crowded. I'm like, yeah, this is so much better. And I wish, like, sometimes on a nice, hot, sunny day, you can, like, she won't let you lay out towels, car mats, or mats. Like, I wish you could just I would throw a blanket or a wet towel. I almost got evicted from the last manager because I washed my car and had a wet towel on the side drying because it was nasty with oily stuff. Like, I was going to, like, hand wash it and dry it, or hand wash it and machine wash it, because it wasn't, like, oil, but it was nasty. You don't want to, like, put that white towel with your white underwear. And, like, she tried to evict me because because it was like outside for like a day. So they like make like this is not a rule. They make up rules, but then it's like they refuse to like fix your house, and the only way they'll fix it is if it becomes a violation for the state when they do inspections. And so you're like, why? Like, if you aren't gonna fix it, can you lower my rent and I will fix it myself? So they replaced my old blind with a worse blind. They replaced my carbon monoxide detector that was broken with another used carbon monoxide detector that said it only works 7 years. It has June 2010. That's more than 7 years. And I was like, oh my god. So if I could, I would have just gone to the store and bought one. And there's a lot of things they used to fix, and they didn't fix ours. But I kept asking some of the maintenance guys. They're like, no, we never get the maintenance request, and then after like 6, 7 months, we might get it later, and then by the time we go to your house, you've already fixed it. So basically, they're playing this game, and since you sign the paper that says you, I think it's like 14 days or 10 or 14 or 30 days authorized for them to come in, because I'm like, no, you can't come in when I'm not here. Um, so I had some other stuff broken and some electrical stuff, and when I moved in 2010, the maintenance guy named Steve was like, well, there's a lot of electrical problems. They got a lot of contractors, and they're going to get the lowest bid, and it doesn't matter. Like, if I was having a house, I don't want to pay. This is my chair. So when I was in Girl Scouts, we would take the ones that aren't clear, and we'd sit around the campfire, and that's how we'd eat dinner. But you're in a car, and you're dropped off at a campground, unless the chaperones keep their car somewhere, but we don't really know where. And you kind of are roughing it. We did have some where we had the mats, and then we would still sleep inside on bunk beds. But it's like we didn't have like camping chairs and fold out chairs and benches and stuff. So like this, if you forgot your mat at home, you're gonna sit your bare butt on the ground, wet or dry, which is kind of nice. So I just had to go like be prepared, be a Girl Scout, because I didn't want, especially not even just my kid. If you're in a moldy chair, you're gonna track that mold in your couch into your house, and you don't know what kind of mold and mildew it is spreading. So, anyways, um, I just I keep telling myself when I'm a owner of a multiplex or something, or even a storefront, and I'm renting or leasing to someone, I'm gonna think about what I already learned from being a business owner and a past residential owner, now a renter. I'm gonna think about how I need to budget and how, like, for me as a business owner, I never pay myself. Like, I never say, ching, I made extra money this month. I'm going to go buy one of those $6 burgers. It's like, it doesn't turn into that. And it's like, oh, yay, I'm going to set this aside for my retirement. But an extra boost because I got, a lot of extra work. And I worked hard and I sweated through this thing. It's like, oh my God, like, it's like I have 2 pennies or 3 pennies, 2 or 3 pennies, where you put it in the machine and it flattens out, and you're like, I think I have one from where the forest fires are in the gorge from Cascade Locks. I have some from Cascade Locks, and I gave one to my uncle for Christmas. I thought it was cool. But yeah, anyways, I'm not making fun of people in Portland because I don't go camping with people, so all I did once with my son's Cub Scouts, and everyone had air mattresses, propane, gas grills. I brought sticks to cook my food with hot dogs on a campfire. Like, you can't use this campfire. Why? Because this is a shared campfire. I'm used to camping, and everyone sits on one of these and takes a stick that we found out in the woods and a pocket knife and scrapes the end off, sticks it in the ashes, wipes it off their hands. And it's still hot, and throws a hot dog in it. We didn't even throw hot dogs on it. That was way too fancy. But like we would put our marshmallows on it, and we would do our aluminum foil. And they like absolutely forbade me to cook my food. And I probably had like hot dogs and chicken. Like, I was gonna do, like, we learned, which was get the kindling, get the rubbish from the woods. Like, we never, like, out here, everyone's like buying campfire wood and putting it in the back of their truck. Like, somebody bought a whole trailer with like all this fancy tents and extra stuff and all this blow up stuff. I was like, wow, this is how they camp out here. I was like so confused. I was like, this is fun. And then they left. We were late because I had to work or go to school. Both. They're like, oh, we left you the last camp spot. It's full of fire ants. And I had just driven here. Everyone else was a married couple. And I was like alone. And I'm like, he left us on. I was just like in the thrift store parking lot. Dear God. We didn't get bit. I was like, fire ants. I could wake up dead. Like, I don't mess around with fire ants. I remember we got a picture of it once. In high school or middle school? We were standing on a mound of fire ants. And we were like, why is this so... Michigan is really flat. So we're just like changing position. We're like, why are we going up and downhill? This is weird. And we're like, oh my God, it's ant mound. I was like, it's like super flat. There's a rollaways place for people with sled. I was terrified of sleds and trestles. Oh, I wasn't afraid of trestles, but jumping off them freaked me out, so I didn't do it. What it was like logging hills that went to the Osceola River. I believe it was to the Osceola River out there. It's called the rollaways. And so basically they cut trees down and roll them down and float them down the river back in the olden days. And it was super steep. So there are so many bodies of water. You will get that in Osceola, Michigan and in the surrounding areas. But I didn't ever think about that. It's like you don't drive cars. Like, if you're in a grocery store parking lot, like out here, you had to like make sure your cart isn't. My cart is rolling away, or someone else. You come out to the store and your car is surrounded by carts, like it's a magnet. You're like, great, you just like bumped all of the paint off my bumper, and you're just like, well, keep my side of the street clean. Make sure my cart, while I'm not huffing and puffing about this guy, is putting his cart up, like letting his cart roll down the hill, going 50 miles an hour into my bumper or into the side of my car, like making sure my cart doesn't do that. It's like just examine the damage after you put your cart away. You move one little bag and the whole thing rolls. Like, I'm not from where your stuff rolls. And when we were on the military base, the baggers always carried your freaking groceries out, and my mom would tip them. I'm not used to this. Like, I was like, I remember I was in a car accident, and the chiropractor told me how bad it was, my injuries. And I kept thinking, I was trying to, like, get stuff covered and get recommendations on how to get the medical coverage. And all the imaging that needed to be, I was trying to get, like, first things first, but then once they did an independent medical exam, I couldn't do anything. But at first, I was like, dude, I seriously need a handicap placard. Like, I had to park 3 blocks from work, and I was like, I can't handle it. Like, I can't handle walking like that. But I said, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. So I was like, I need a freaking cane. Like, we had, like, 1.5 pairs of crutches, and I'm like, I hate using crutches. But I was just like, I need, like, a walking stick. So I would use, you saw in some of my old videos, I had a couple of sticks and some crutches here. Because I literally, even to this day, like, right now, I'm, like, rubbing this knee. Since the car accident, this has been, like, so fouled up. And there's no way for me to get, she only did imaging because of the whiplash after the abnormal x-rays. But she didn't do my lower back and my knee and my shoulder. I don't like MRIs, so I wasn't going to be like, but she had some list of things and some specialists to go to. But when they won't pay, you're pretty much like, my treatment is over. So my other video was, which you can tell I have trouble. I watched Rock Surfer talk about lingerie and bras, and somebody's comment was, my wife thinks, I don't know if verbatim, but it was pretty much, that's so disgusting. How dare you even think of using bras, or used underwear? And I wrote, I used to be homeless, and I didn't have underwear, tops or bottoms, and then I needed to work and go to school, and it's socially unacceptable in this country to go out without a bra and underwear. And when I went to shelter and to these other programs, I literally had to use used socks, used underpants, and used bras. And I never, like, used slips, used pajamas. I never thought, when I was a kid, that people ever shared clothing. Someone wore my shoes once, and they had a big old feet. I have narrow heels. My mom's like, oh, your shoes got to be super small. I got really mad because I was like, God, if they, I never even really had size B shoes unless they were like tennis shoes and you didn't have a choice. It's like my mom would like special order everything narrow heel because we both had that. And I was like now I think my feet are screwed up because I never wear narrows and I'm always trying to hold my shoes on with my foot. They don't stay, they don't stick. And I used to shove tons of toilet paper in the toe, but then you get like, you go to someone's house and you take your shoe off and it's all these bits of toilet paper all over. Not that it's a big deal, but um, I used to do it a lot more when I was in med school because you had to walk and take stairs more than me just going to the grocery store. But so I don't even know. I order shoes off the internet and I'm like, I'm scared to order narrow now because I've gone. People are like, you need a wide. Somebody measured me at Payless. They got this part of my foot, and I've been used to walking barefoot, and my foot goes flat. So they're like, you need a wide. And I was like, I don't need a wide. I need like a narrow heel. Like I might have this part of my foot wide, but I'm not gonna wear those little dress shoes that are like triangles at the end. I could try, but I feel like I don't want to try. I don't want a button because of that or whatever. So I made part of my video, excuse me, where I needed to ask you guys how. Okay, so I see people say, "Oh my God, if you've never done the Victoria's Secret sizing, that has like changed their life," and they had quality bras, and they're like, "Oh my God, I should never have waited years. I was too afraid of the price." Now, if these people would work, if I worked, sweeping a parking lot 8 to 10 hours a day, I would at least have $1,600 a month before taxes. But I couldn't even find a job like that, scrubbing toilets, doing this, doing that. And so I don't even make the bare minimum of a minimum wage worker. But if you ask for help and you're not handicapped, even though like I technically am like handicapped because of this car accident, I can't get a doctor's note for it because of the catch-22 with insurance. I can't go into a doctor unless they are going to have me literally be seen as a pro bono. That would be the only way that I could get care because of the fine print, and it sucks. It sucks because you feel like people like me just get lost. Like these people in Puerto Rico, I feel like they're just being lost. There's not a lot of help. And so I was like, God, I wish, like, this is a lot in the black community where you gotta look. You're not trying to show off by looking nice, even if you don't have money, but like a lot of us, like, I don't know about these people that portray inner city blacks as being hoochie mamas and that, like, I never actually met anybody like that. Like, I've never met anyone. Maybe you guys think I'm that person, but it's like, I end up being like, oh, I gotta give my daughter this pen. I end up being like that person that's like, I end up being that person that's like, taught by my mom to be really modest, and I would be considered the way that I am, like very, very uncivilized. I would be considered really uncivilized in my family, which is one reason, like, if somebody is a toxic person, doesn't matter if I straighten my hair or not, they're still toxic, and I would probably play in their games. Like, I'm just saying, if you follow the rules of the family and conform to the standards of your makeup, your hair, your choice of food, like, oh my God, like, my family doesn't know I'm vegetarian, and my dad would portray that I was eating Big Macs all day, every day, and that's why I'm fat. But I'm like, God, I wish I could have a Big Mac right now. A, I'm really hungry. B, I wish I could eat everything that's in there. It doesn't matter if it's a natural, organic, this and that, grain, or grass-fed beef, I don't care, non-GMO, or just greasy burger. I wish I could eat beef and all of the stuff that comes with the wheat and all the corn products. C, did I say this already? I won the $4.99, whatever, with a coupon. I wish I could drink coffee. It sounds cozy right now. I wish I could drink iced frappuccino, whatever those things. I've never had. I don't think I ever had a Starbucks coffee in my life. Like, I don't know what this stuff is, what you guys talk about. Um, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to own an iPhone. I just don't know. Um, I don't know what it's like to have a big flat screen TV in my house. I've never had one. I'm really, really confused. I don't know what it's like. What's on cable? Is there even any, do people even call it cable anymore, or is it like satellite or something? I don't know because I've never had it. I never had one of those dishes in my yard. I don't know. I've seen all of my neighbors having that, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I want to play around with it. People have a smart TV. What the heck is a smart TV? I don't even know. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know what it does because I've never had one. And I'm even at a place sometimes you're poor and your relatives give you junk. Not like, I hate when they give you like junk that doesn't fit and you're never going to use it. But they say, oh, I got this smart TV. I'm getting a different brand because I want this or that. I want something else. Do you want it? Oh, yeah. Oh, I have my old MacBook Pro. Do you want it? Oh, yeah, I want my old iPad too while you're at it. Yes. Old iPhone or Samsung phone. Yes. Like, but if you don't have like relatives, they don't care. They don't care. They're not going to talk to you. You don't have any. So I was going to ask people, because one of my trainings was for doula training, cultural competency. It wasn't predominantly black. If you go to a place in Portland and you're the only white person, this is a place where there's at least 3 blacks in a room, and it was still predominant. It was still predominantly white when I went to my class. You'll see pictures on the website of predominantly black classes, but I think a lot of those are like in Chicago and back east. It doesn't matter because those people are so interested in cultural competency, and I am not. I like more integrated. A lot of people like segregated, even when they talk about black midwives. But then they're talking about Native Americans. Maybe Native don't want to be called black. Maybe people from the Middle East, they're considered Caucasian, don't want to be called black. But I like that integrated um, cultural competency, and that's my opinion. You could say, "Oh my God, I want segregation. I don't want a black doctor. I don't want a black female doctor. I don't want to live next to them." You could have your opinion, but I don't think we should interfere with those people's lives because we don't like them. So one of the things she said on the last day or during the business portion was hang a black, what do you call it, blazer in your car, and hang a black blazer in your car, and invest in good bras. So I have bras where my chest is not even that big, and the thing is, because I'm not menopausal yet, I still have my bloating. I still get like my boobs like grow when I'm about to start my menses, and then they'll like shrink down and they'll grow. So it almost looks like if people like were like, why the heck does her breast size change? Like right now, I feel like my breast size changed because it's coming up on my special time of the month. But my chest has never really been big, and when I nursed and gained weight with pregnancies and nursing for 3 years straight, and then I gained and lost from 90 to 100 pounds. I have a lot of saggy skin, and I'm over 40, so I've never really felt like when I used to exercise in school, I felt like maybe I had a little bit of perky breasts because I was like 15, but it was always like small. It's probably mostly pec muscles, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a 36C. Like after I lost a bunch of weight, and I'm like, why does my breast not fit in? I was like, oh my God, it's because they're so saggy, they just don't fit in there when I bend down or when I look in the mirror and I went outside like I did a few minutes ago to take the garbage. I was like, oh my God, like your nipples stick out, and you're like, that's embarrassing because in my neighborhood, everybody stares you down and asks you questions and asks for your help, and you're just like, I just want to go, like, this thing sticks up a lot, and I was like, I just want to go outside, do what I have to do, and go to bed. So I was going to ask people, if you go to the bargain bins or get just hand-me-downs, or you go and you order just junk on the internet that costs $1.52 free shipping, and you realize, wow, this is like, I could put band-aids on my breast and it would be more support. What do you do? So this lady was saying, be professional, have confidence. You never know when your client or a new client might contact you. Leave a blazer in your car So you go in, always wear a good bra, so you go in with your body perky-ish or like professional, not like, oh gosh, why do you look so sloppy? And have your blazer so that you can automatically turn, which my daughter actually says the exact same thing. And I'm about to sell 2 blazers, go figure, because and it's just like, why is it like this? For me, how do you do things where you need to, there's a thing you guys probably heard of called Just for Success. I've never been able to get a recommendation for it, and I knew someone that got a purse and all this stuff, and the thing is, I had some people donate some really old, they have balls on them, and they're dry clean only, and they're wool, they have holes in them. And I'm gonna sell them, even if people want them from fabric. I'm gonna say that in the description. Um, so it's hard when you get a lot of hand-me-downs. They're all stretched out in the wrong places. Someone gave me a bunch of shirts from the weight loss group. They had made their goal weight, and I was still really fat. And because of her old body, she was short, but her body was really wide and really short. So basically, it was like wearing halter tops that were like really, really bad. And it was like the detergent. This, I don't know. I know this is a lot. I'm allergic to detergent, so you have that touch. I could tell same clothes my kids had as other kids in the lost and found. I could tell by touching it. If I had allergic reaction and my teeth started inflaming or my gums started getting all sensitive, nerve pain, I knew it wasn't my kids' clothes. I would be that sensitive. My stomach's growling. Oh my god, this is like freaking me out. So I was gonna ask people, how do you try it? Oh god, this is a different store. Oh my god. This is a different store. Pacific Highway. What the heck is that? Pacific Highway. Oh, I think that's the one next to my house. Alright, she added me to a different store, and I just noticed that. Okay. I had a friend at the store. Oh my god, I haven't been there in so long. Some stores have locks. I forgot about that. I have to get a key from people. I told myself, dude, check. You just met your boss. Check all of the store numbers before you just go to work. So I am going. The one near my house is like, hold on. She just added the 13th, 14th, 15th. Oh my god. I was gonna look up Just for Success, but I was like, it's really hard. I gotta tell myself that's a different store. I thought something was weird because my schedule has been the same for a while, so I'm gonna say, I don't know where it is. I'm gonna say, so this store, is, near my house, is in Tigard, but their mailing address is Portland. Now there's another store we actually passed today that's on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway, and if you go like maybe 5 miles or less up the street, there's another store on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway, and one is Raleigh Hills. I don't know if it comes up as Beaverton or Portland, and the other one comes up as Pacific Highway or as Beaverton Hills Hill. And I had both stores one day after the other, and I looked at the address. I didn't look at the numbers. I didn't memorize them, and I was like, oh my god, I need to get there fast. I know there's some back roads, like, I know some couple of ways that I can take. I was like, this is stupid. I just was there yesterday. I'm gonna do the GPS to see if Google can tell me what's the fastest way. And it's like, keep driving, like, wait, what? Like, double take. I was like, oh my gosh. So, my store that I usually work at is on the same street. But when you get to my house, right past my place, it changes. The road is Highway 99W. It turns from Barber to Pacific. But it's supposed to be, I think, like, it's supposed to be, like, Tiger. But somehow their mailing address comes up as Portland. It's really confusing. When we moved here, the school was like, oh, your kids might not be able to to be in the school anymore. And I used to think that this lady I knew since 2004, this employee of the school, was really nice. And I was like, wow. I always told people she's great. She knows where every kid is. Like I'd be like, oh, I came to get a lift or dentist appointment or something. She's like, oh, their classroom went to the park to do this thing. I was like it would always be like you can call and she's like, oh yeah, I will get the message to her in the next like 3 minutes. Like she always knew who like all the students were. It was really weird. And I used to say how nice she was and how good she was. And then when my son was struggling, it was just like yuck. Like I don't know though that the management changed like 3 times since 2004, at least three times. And so sometimes like some of the employees there, especially like I said for medical school, foreign Russians, people, age, poverty, not a prestigious job, they got to be like a little bit like treated poorly. And I I knew these people because I would talk too much in the hallway, and I like learning about other people's cultures. So you get a vibe about somebody's honesty and integrity and how you don't like talk forever. Like you might follow them around with a broom or something. I gotta look this up, yo. I gotta help my daughter get to work on Friday unless she wants to go ride the bus because she's not feeling well and she's in school. And I know, like for me, when I was in school, it seemed like it was really soon that you have exams. So yeah, it's like what like so first of all I have like inflatable breasts that change sizes throughout the month. And second of all, like I don't have any friends and there's like a couple of people that talk to me. Um like three, four or five people and they're not really friends. Like I never hung out with them. I never did anything. I never went to get tea. I don't like one person I talked on the phone a couple of times. And I can't really, if I have patients, I can't really say, my patient's my best friend. Like, yeah, I wanted to be that kind of doctor that was like old fashioned, but I don't want to be like, that's like becomes an ethical thing when you look at business. So I want to know how people, my butt was really big when I was a kid, like especially my body was changing, and it was embarrassing, and I'd get really sweaty armpits. Because I was always embarrassed. I was always overwhelmed, and I was beaten a lot. I was really overwhelmed at life and really anxious and nervous. And I never thought myself as anxious. My teachers always like, "Why are you always smiling? Like, you're like the one kid with braces that's always got a smile on your face." And someone else told me that they're like in medical school, like you are like the most struggling student, a single mom living in poverty, hardly able to study, rushing around all the time, and you always have a smile on your face. And I know it's partly because of my belief system, and it's like most people that I talk to would say you're always negative, or you're having a pity party, or you're exaggerating. And if I tell them like, oh, I was homeless, like they would be like, yeah, right, you're exaggerating. Like living on in your parents' house after you're 21 doesn't mean you're homeless. Like they would make up a story, like, wait, you're fabricating a story about me just to try to make it sound like I'm lying. Like people would just be like crazy. Like why don't they just say like teenagers? I don't care. I don't care about your past. I don't care like. But they'd be like you're always so negative. You're always so like dark cloud over you. Like I'm just telling you part of my truth. And besides the fact my stomach is like really growling right now. I'm sorry. There's somebody that has the same name as my daughter almost, and they have like similar shifts, and it's weirding me out. I wonder if the boss is playing around with their names. both. That's too early. And I was supposed to finish vacuuming, but I was like, I'm going to bed. So how do you deal with trying to be professional or getting ready for job interviews or working your own business and you want to be, like, even if you want to shop at Walmart because you have no money, because they potentially can be cheaper than a thrift store. Like, I've never been to the bins, so I haven't said, oh, I'm going to go buy work clothes and bras from the bins, which I consider doing. Because I'm not a reseller when I sell. I get stuff cheap if I can get it free or cheap, and then it makes it easier for me. If you've seen these two bins here, it makes it easier for me to sell my items that don't fit anymore. So when I was a kid, I was able to try clothes on and buy them, and we had like the BX, the base exchange. We didn't have any stores in town. Once in a while, a store would pop up and close down. They didn't even sell bras there for kids, like trainer bras. I remember going to Saginaw and I think my mom was trying to get my dad away. We never went. We barely went. It might be when my brother was in the hospital. It seems like we only went. It seems like we didn't really go as a family anywhere very once in a while. But how do you like? We didn't have a lot of choices, but I got to try stuff on and make a choice. It wasn't like going through the tags, looking at the price tag, price tag, price tag, price tag, price tag. And that's what I do now. It's like, if it's yellow tag day, I go to yellow tag. I need this black shirt for work. I don't care. I'm going to try it on. I was like, we're making it fit because it's the only one that's half off. Even if it's like if it was $14, $7. Like, I am not allowed to go to work with a white shirt or a blue shirt. I have to wear this color. So what do you guys do if you don't have resources and you're just like I'm sitting here looking at this fabric, like, you know what, I'm gonna sew underwear, I'm gonna sew my old, I'm gonna mend everything, I'm gonna make a corset, and I'm gonna make, I'm just like, I'm not gonna buy any clothes. And then I felt like I was like, I'm working here and buy a coat, the cheapest one with a hood, who cares? And I'm like, I can't do it. And I'm just I'm 40, almost 41. I felt like the other day, like food, I'm not going to buy food. I'm just going to drink tea because I'm broke, and I'm not going to buy clothes. If someone gives them to me, if I make them, have tons of fabric, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, it's like when you're studying for exams, you're like, I'm not going to spend any money. Like, forget it. Kids are eating deli food, chicken, JoJo's, eat out some soup from the deli. Like, you're just like, you have to focus on your work. Because I'm not a stay-at-home mom, or because I don't have days off with a steady income. I feel like I'm hustling to get things done around the house and around my kids' schedules. And I feel like the way I'm saying it is like, my stomach is like super growling right now. I don't even know if I could sleep like this. I'm like looking to see at least if there's a drink of water or something. I have this dry food. I made myself buy it. Oh, this is a different one. I made myself buy stuff like this on sale so that I don't literally collapse at the job because of malnutrition. I think Sophie is good at her house cleaning and now she's doing crafts. And I feel like that is probably one of the pluses. Speaking of crafts, I was supposed to work on this at work last week. Make a prayer bracelet out of plastic beads. Ooh, there's some loose one in there. I just dropped it. It just popped out. It was clear. So I just realized, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the store and buy nut butter. Like, it's gonna cost you 13, 14 bucks. I'm like, I gotta go to the DMV and get my driver's license is going to expire, and then in January my car license is going to expire. That one's really expensive. So I'm like, right now I'm like, I was working more in the spring until they hired this other person, so I had a little bit more money to buy food. I still was putting stuff on credit cards, but I wasn't cleaning off every single bank account like that. I shaved them down. Now I'm pretty much gonna close them down or make sure there's no penalty for no money in it. And sometimes you have to have a minimum 300 or 5 or whatever. So yeah, what do you guys do if you feel like you're like desperate? And I think a lot of people say you're really lazy. Oh, anyone who works 4 jobs gotta be making some money. But in Portland, it's really expensive, and it's harder to move when your kids work and go to school. And you can never move out of where you live. You really don't want to get evicted, especially for non-payment rent or housekeeping, because my income's not high enough to move anywhere. They're gonna base your rent. Your income needs to be 3 times your rent. Or yeah, so I could rent or buy a place for like $150 a month. And even this place, I was too poor to move in. My income was too low to live in low income housing. Isn't that sad? And it's subsidized, so it's too low. My income is too low to live in subsidized housing. And it's true, but I couldn't get into a private housing, which was cheaper. 3-bedroom house, washer, dryer, clean hot car garage, huge yard, nice schools, walk to the park, big old driveway, quiet neighborhood, suburbs. They were cheaper than this place. But this place let us in, even when they basically lowered the rent for me. And then, that management company is no longer managing it, and they keep saying, we don't care what the other manager said. And when the management changed, they said, we're going to grandfather you in your original lease, and the other people will have to sign the new lease, but they immediately changed the lease, like, big time. It's really in the rent and all that stuff. So, I'm going to ask you guys, and I'm going to tell you what I've done for 13 years. I've prayed or said, I asked to myself, how will I afford? Say my kids need to bring 5 snacks for a field trip or something, and I'm like, I have no money. And then somehow we get a check because I overpaid something, or someone random sends us $20, which doesn't happen very frequently. And I'm just like, oh, I can go buy the 5 snacks, and then I find a coupon in my bag or at the store where everything is over 25% off because we just love you so much. Like, so that's how I've gotten through. People will probably say, you're lazy if you get off your butt. There's plenty of jobs. Just work somewhere. But it's really hard. And if you come in my neighborhood, you'll see very few people of color working, unless you're Hispanic and you're doing yard work or fast food. I'm not Hispanic, and I'm also not young. I'm not a young woman either. You'll see like 0 to 2 people from that firm-wire, this firm-wire. The businesses I've known, and I saw one black lady at Waco that was complaining about people receiving government handouts. So I won't go through her line, because what sucks is I went to school to be a doctor, and I went into federal loan debt to help people, to sacrifice my sleep and my kids in daycare with strangers in order to. The thing was, I couldn't pay the rent back then, and I was going to wait until my kids were grown, until I went back to school for medicine, and because I couldn't get a job then either, I was not able to do what I just said, like, wait until, because basically we were homeless, and I couldn't wait And I had just had somebody help me. She was a toxic person, but she helped me get to the next stage of my life. And I needed a toxic person because that's the type of people I was used to listening to. And she, I hope this helps. I drink this because it has the calcium. We're only 4%, but my knee is so bad right now. Like, I need minerals. She went through her master's program on and off homeless at Portland State. And she was doing nonviolent communication and all this supposedly peaceful protest and all that stuff. Talking about MLK and Gandhi and all this. Not Tap, what's his name? Not something that I forget that guy. I'm sorry. Is it mindfulness? Something like that. But I'm gonna see how I can do without buying clothes and food for myself. And I have like at least one banana downstairs. I was gonna share that with the animals, but I'm so hungry right now. I tell you the truth, because of this hunger, I haven't been able to do any billing for my business. And they expire, and I'm pretty scared. I'm really scared, actually. I don't know what to do about it. So, if nobody answers, I don't get a lot of replies. Sorry, somebody talked about the heavy metals. And I was going to do heavy metal testing in my clinic because I have a lab that I never utilize. And I take all the insurance, except for like Providence stuff. Well, that's kind of weird. And I haven't tried to bill. Actually, I need to bill them for something so that I can have a count for my numbers. What I've done is I felt like now I'm losing faith. I'm feeling like I'm in a downward spiral when life should be going better, but then I have to think life is going okay. I can make a decision in the morning about whether I want to be in a bad or in a good mood, even if something wakes me up. Because people's babies die. People get diagnosed with cancer. I did a scenario on the phone for CE for Medscape about breast cancer patient. My heart was breaking, and it's a simulation. I was like, oh my god, my patient. Like, I was just like so emotional. I fell asleep, but I was just like, oh my god. So that's where I am. Is like, it feels like the world is crashing down on you, and you want to be that person that's like really helpful to others. And like today, I had to tell someone's like, oh, we're lazy. We don't want to do this stuff. We like when you do it for us. And I was just like, I can't do it. Like, if I sign up to be a community partner, which I heard about, and I go to their house and I can help someone coordinate something and get paid for it, but it's to a point where I keep neglecting my own health, and it's not part of my job criteria. Like, usually I bend over backwards, and the same with scheduling same day appointments. I have to be kind of careful about, because these people, the thing is that people that get a lot of help, they get a lot of help, and they demand a lot of help. And someone like me that doesn't get like any help or very little help, you kind of like push it. Oh no, I don't really like. No, I don't think I qualify. Like, yeah, I'm dirt broke. I can't afford food and everything I buy is on a credit card or energy bills. Like, but like, so I was gonna be like, can I go join the jobs program and take the classes and resume classes and have them help me get a job, like the welfare department. The problem with when I've done that for many years was they literally say, quit school, quit your job that you have, do this with your kids, make your kids do this, make yourself live here. And then those people coordinate what they say, and then they make demands with your housing, and then they make demands with your healthcare people, and you're making you go to mental health counseling because you're traumatized and with an abusive husband, but you can't find a healthcare profession because you're on Medicaid and they won't accept any new Medicaid patients. So then you get penalized and they increase your rent because you're not. It's like, I've been there, done that. I have a house ownership program as a matching fund, and I really want to join it. And I joined one and I had a lot of money. I should have tons of money in it, and they stole my money. And that is so heartbreaking because it changed all my plans. It even changed my business plans. And it would have been a good plan B for when my money fell through for my business. I didn't realize this was like an anchor in there. It reminds me of my little bracelets I was making. So I'm really scared to join another matching program. IDA, I was supposed to be an IDA for home ownership, and I guess you can only do one at a time, and or one for business. I couldn't start my business when I graduated. I couldn't afford the board exam, and I think for August, I think you have to pay in April or May. It's something really early. I don't even know if they have a late. They might have a late fee one, but sometimes if a lot of people don't sign up, they'll give you like 2 more days. They'll be like, "Hello, everybody, you guys are losers." No, they'll be like, not losers. They'll be like, "We'll give you another," but you can't hold your breath for that one. I think you have to pay. You have to pay in the spring for your August board exams. So my money fell through upon trying to graduate and take midwifery classes. The money for the um, licensing fees and all the applications, fingerprints, all that jazz. My midwifery courses, which was over 10,000. The startup for the clinic was over 20,000. So the first fees were probably like 2,000, then 10,000, then 20,000. Relative promises, and then they were like, "I don't. What do you think I am? Made of money? I don't have anything. I don't have any money. I don't have time." And then they would come back later and be like, "I'm gonna give you a couple bucks because you said that. I said that. Blah 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 blah." I was just like, I don't want a penny. Like, if you're gonna do this, you said, I said this, this, this. Like, the truth is, they did say that, and I hate how I don't even have $500 for my kids' college account. Like, but I had to tell my kids, yeah, I used your college money to pay last month's rent, and I'm gonna use the rest of it to pay this month's rent. I'm sorry, and I'm too hungry to do billing, so I'm gonna have to I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to sell my car. My car wouldn't sell for very much. Unfortunately, if I sell it, unless I sold it straight to someone. Look at a googly eye. I'm gonna go watch my movie. Bye.